All right, today I'm going to be brave and I'm going to try streaming today's topic, and hopefully there will be no regrets. So, today's title was inspired by a comment that a coworker made to another coworker one shift ago. And it had to do with how we have to sign off on trainings that are on paper. They're pretty much due every couple of months. I really do not know the schedule of how often we gotta do those trainings. But if you're someone who's been there for at least a year, at some point you will have done that training. And even when you get hired, I would imagine it's part of a requirement. I'm not sure how trainings are done this day these days, but I just know that my coworker who was reading the paper has only been with us for like 2 years. And then the one who made the comment about you're actually reading it instead of signing it has been there for way longer than me. I want to say she's been there by now, it's going to be about 15, 16 years, something like that. And when I heard that, of course, I did not interject because at least the girl who was reading the papers was pretty much done. But what I thought was, thank God for people like her who actually make sure that they read the content so that they can review it and have the policy fresh in their minds. Also, to see if there have been any changes, because every once in a while, policies may change ever so slightly. And then this veteran is probably one of those people who is susceptible to saying things like, I never heard of that, or they changed this, I didn't know. You guys know how I hate when people say the phrase, I didn't know. Well, this would be an example of that, because here is your opportunity to either review the content, because there's a lot of material that we got to keep up with, and I guess you're just too good at your job. You never make any mistakes. You remember absolutely everything. Therefore, you're too good to be actually reading up on the material. I personally like to respect policies, even if my manager tells me that there's nothing new and that I can just breeze through it and read what's been highlighted. I will still read every single word, because sometimes I catch a detail that I may have a question about. And usually, when I start asking questions, people start shitting themselves, because there are some questions that I just ask because my experience helps me see things in a little bit of a broader scope, so I can imagine instances or reference instances I have experienced and ask for clarification. But oh, people who don't actually do the job as often as I do cannot consider that. And that's why you need people like me who read everything, but also people like this one colleague who made me super proud that she actually takes the time to read whether something has changed or not. Because, like I just said, something's gonna happen, and then this person's gonna go like, it used to be different. This is how I'm used to doing it. I never heard of it changing, but it was right there on the fucking paper that you refused to read for whatever reason. So yeah, you guys, I thought that I would share that anecdote, and maybe you guys yourselves, maybe you have run into workers like this, hopefully not. But if you have, let me know, if you want to, what kind of job you have and why it annoyed you. Because for me, it's also an element of safety. Some of the things that we train on or retrain on has to do with safety. It teaches you how to properly squat, to lift heavy things, and to stretch every so often before activities. Healthy, nice, sane, considerate, careful advice. But I guess people really think that injuries cannot happen to them until it happens to them, and then they just want to blame the fact that they have the job and they just work, as opposed to, maybe I worked in a way that wasn't very safe, and this is the advice that I needed that I never got. So now that I'm getting it, let me embrace it. Let me welcome it. I don't know. That's just me. That's my attitude. I'm not saying it's the best or the worst, but I'm just saying that at least in my time there, I can say I have genuinely gotten hurt twice. And by genuinely, I mean something that made me go like, ouch. But it wasn't necessarily something that required an accident logging form. I've never had to do one of those. But yeah, maybe it's a testament of me probably being on the lookout. And I think that we need more of that now more than ever. Because living with an injury, I would imagine, sucks, especially if it was a preventable one. Well, there you guys have it. That's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.